Hey guys, Richard from the Pokéfamily here again. Today is the 20th of April, Friday the 20th of April. Amanda is still in America. She had a day off from making videos yesterday. She just did some sightseeing. She just was a bit of a tourist. One of the reasons for that was she'd forgotten to charge her batteries. But it doesn't matter. But we've while Amanda's been away, I've had a lot of time to think about Pokemon Go, to read stuff about Pokemon Go. There's been all sorts of stuff going on. For example, just yesterday the weather boost feature disappeared for like 3 hours. I couldn't figure out for the life of me why. I wanted to make a video. I still don't know why it disappeared. All the weather apps were up, like AccuWeather, etc. was up, but hey-ho. Anyway, today's video is going to be about Charizard and its upcoming shake-up on Community Day. Whether it's going to become meta-relevant. Something I love about the game. Working out whether a Pokemon is meta-relevant or not. Working out whether it's a good counter. Let me just check my camera. Yeah, it's working. So, on May 19th, next month, it's going to be Charmander for Community Day. And at the moment, much like most of the starter type Pokemon, Charizard suffers a little bit from not quite being powerful enough. Its moveset's not been good enough. I mean, it can have Fire Spin and Overheat, which is generally considered to be the best options as far as fire type DPS is concerned, but it's just outdone by other types. Now, as of making this video, Blast Burn, which is the unique fire type starter move, has not been announced. I think it's safe to assume that that's what it's going to be. I'd be very surprised if it's something else. When they did Bulbasaur, they gave Venusaur Frenzy Plant, which shoved it straight up, it boosted it straight up into meta relevancy. It's a little bit of a different kettle of fish with Charizard, because grass types are so underrepresented at the moment. They will see a wider representation later with Leafeon and Tangrowth and all that from Gen 4. But will Charizard fit into the fire meta? And I have to say right here, the fire meta isn't really anywhere near the top of overall meta relevancy. Fire Pokemon are not necessarily the most useful, however they can be useful. So let's get into it. Charizard has a base attack stat, so remember it's from 0 to 300 of 223. Yeah, that's better than Venusaur. Venusaur has less than that, less than 200. Still, when you compare that to other fire types that are in the game, the top three that I picked was Moltres, Entei and Flareon. It's still outdone as far as an attack stat is concerned. Doesn't mean that it's not relevant, because moves make a huge difference. A huge difference. For example, if Venusaur's attack stat was higher than it is, it might outdo Exeggutor's being the top grass type Pokemon. And Exeggutor's attack stat is actually quite big because it has Bullet Seed and Solar Beam. Bullet Seed's not as good a fast attack as Vine-Grip. So you have to keep that in mind when considering meta relevancy. So in order of attack stat, you've got Moltres with 251, Flareon with 246 and Entei with 235 attack stat. They're all higher than Charizard. However, something to take into account, both Moltres and Entei are legendary type Pokemon, which means to get those guys powered up, in all likelihood you're going to be using rare candy. Now, I would urge people not to use rare candy on fire type Pokemon at the moment. There are other things that you can use your rare candy on that will be much more meta relevant including pseudo legendaries like Tyranitar and Dragonite. So that makes a difference when it comes to fire types. Charizard, I think, will get a somewhat usefulness by the fact that you don't need rare candy to evolve or power this thing up. You can just do it. You can just use your Charmander candy and power it up. It won't be the best. Moltres and Entei kind of take that role because of their movesets. Flareon has a higher attack stat than Entei, but it's more of a glass cannon. Charizard fits a similar role, it's a glass cannon. So fire meta relevancy seems to be a bit of a tough one as far as, well, at least as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't use precious rare candy on Entei and Moltres at the moment. In the future, maybe, but right now, not so much. So other things about the event, we've got, again, we're back to 3 times Stardust, which in my opinion is the best one. The egg hatching speed was good, it was good fun, but Stardust, everybody needs Stardust all the time. It's a major commodity. I mean, I do things in the game to increase my Stardust intake regularly. Whenever I play the game, one of my main considerations is how can I get more Stardust. 3 times Stardust, brilliant. Star Pieces all event, you'll earn God knows how much Stardust. I think for the Dratini event I earned above 100,000 Stardust in 3 hours, which is quite a lot, and that's taking into consideration stopping to film and etc, etc. It wasn't the most efficient. I'm sure there were guys out there that got more, so brilliant. Again, 3 hour lows are back. I think this is going to be a staple of these events, and rightfully so. It increases your spawns. You can't go wrong. Special Community Day boxes will likely be back. I haven't really touched on Special Community Day boxes. I haven't done any reviews. I haven't done anything like that. And the reason for that is they befuddle me a little bit. I mean, they're good. They're nice little boxes that can give you a neat little bundle to help you on Community Day. However, in my opinion, you would be much better off hoarding your coins. This is what I do, and waiting for really awesome boxes to come along. So I did it with the boxes that had Super Incubators and Star Pieces in. I did it with the boxes that had Raid Passes in, this last one that's just come by. So the Special Community Day boxes are nice if you want a little boost during the event. However, I would be a bit more concerned about getting hold of those big discount boxes. This last one was like 70%, guys, 70% discount on like 20 odd Raid Passes per Ultra Box. Crazy. So it's likely that they will introduce Shiny, Charmander, Charmeleon and Charizard, which is a huge one. People have been waiting for this one. So you've got a gold Charmander, a gold Charmeleon, and it's like a black grey Charizard, and that's what sends people crazy. It's one of the cooler looking shinies out there. It's going to be very likely accessible. I can't see why they would all of a sudden change their format and get rid of shinies that way. Something to take into consideration, it has a difficult catch rate. Its base catch rate is only 20%. Being Charmander, it's only a pure fire type. It was a little bit easier with Bulbasaur because you have bonuses from both the grass and the poison medal, but Charmeleon, Charmander and Charmeleon don't get that dual typing until they hit Charizard when they're flying / fire, so it's going to be more difficult. So I suggest hoarding your Great Balls and Ultra Balls and Raspberries, and prioritize catching over candy generation, which seems a bit crazy, but the lower CP ones you can fire a Pinap or a Pineapple, depending on how you say it, at them, but they're difficult to catch. Your perfect CPs for a level 35, this is the best that you can catch in the wild, non-weather boosted, is 712, with sunny weather is 771. So if you spot one of those out there, guys, that's perfect. The best that you can get in the game. Golden Raspberry, Ultra Ball, that's my advice. Get that thing caught, get it evolved, blast burn, it'll be better, I think. I think overall, Blast Burn is a better move than Overheat. It's a 2-bar move, 100 damage, likely. You're going to generate that power bar faster with that than with Overheat. It doesn't sit in the meta as good as Moltres, Entei. Some might even argue Flareon. Another thing that you need to take into consideration when using Charizard, it has a double typing, which and it has a double weakness as well, much like Moltres. Rock is real bad. So if you want to use Charizard in your teams, make sure that you're not going up against something that has rock type moves, because that Charizard will disappear in a blink of an eye. So quick. So that's my little review of the upcoming Charizard / Charmander Community Day. I mean, there are loads of little bits of advice that can be given. Use incenses, yeah, generate more spawns, use star pieces to generate more Stardust. All those things you're going to need to do on this Community Day. But I think the big thing, like always, is getting those shiny Pokemon. I mean, they're much more difficult to come across in the wild outside of these Community Day events. So get out there with your community guys on the upcoming Community Day. It's fun, it's awesome, you're going to love it. Let's see some black Charizards out there. See you in the next video, guys.